Hi, this is Emily. I'm here to do a little review of Bridge to Terabithia by Katherine Paterson. And I'm sure you've heard of this book, or maybe you've even seen the movie. And Bridge to Terabithia was a John Newbery, as you can see, award-winning book. It has the gold seal here. And I just finished reading this for my capstone project, my children's literature project. And I'm doing a module on death and tragedy in children's literature, and this was one of my selections along with What Katie Did and a few others. And it was definitely a good book. The focus on the death wasn't too much overkill. It wasn't witnessed from the eyes of the main character of Jesse, the little boy. It's about his friend, the friend who just Leslie, she is a friend, and they become friends, and neither of them have a lot of friends except each other, and they develop this sort of magical hideout, secret area in the woods that they call Terabithia, where they meet and spend their time together. Very innocent friendship, but he sort of idolizes her. But when she has an injury and tries to display her courage by crossing a river, and she dies. And it's toward the end of the book, but he's not there when it happens. So the perspective is that he hears about it from his parents who are grieving around a table. But, the child reader doesn't see the death happen, doesn't see the accident, it's more, they tell him what happened, and then it goes through some of Jesse's feelings as he has to deal with it, and he goes to see, the funeral, goes to the parents' house, and then how he appreciates and sort of processes that into the very end. And so the death theme it didn't take up the whole book. It was really about the building of a friendship between a boy and a girl. And there's some themes in here, underlying themes, like a division of classes, which is interesting, very much woven in. It is not a book that has pictures, and it has a lot of standard middle school. Well, actually, they're actually younger than that. But a lot of school dynamic scenes and things like that, with bullying and racing and competition and things like that. And the book was written in 1977, so there are actually a few images in here. Here they are in Terabithia. And Terabithia, what's interesting about Terabithia is this could also fall into the theme of alternate worlds and escapism, because in a lot of children's literature we see alternate worlds, and I have a whole module in my children's literature class on alternate worlds, which would be books like Peter Pan and Through the Looking Glass and The Phantom Tollbooth and Coraline. All of these characters, these children in these books, go through alternate worlds, or glass mirrors, or rabbit holes, or they go through the toll booth, or whatever. They go to different places as sort of an escapism from the real world, from the adult world. And it's so you get a lot of the theme and blend and sort of idea of a child's imagination as well. And in this case, what's really interesting, Terabithia functions as an escapism, I think, for Jess, the boy, who is very clear his parents are neglectful from the very beginning. They're very poor. There are several children in his family, younger siblings, sisters, and it's clear he makes several comments. He wishes he had a mother like this or a mother like that, or the mother's always angry, and the father only gives love and attention to the little girls, never to him, until the very end when Leslie dies. His father shows some sympathy toward him in a way that is surprising that he never did. But so Terabithia sort of functions as an ideal, perfect escapism place where he can go that is safe with Leslie and feel accepted and wanted and loved, and it is their alternate world. And this is reflected in the very last paragraph of the book, which I wrote down I take notes whenever I am studying children's literature, and I'll read you this quote. "Now it occurred to him that perhaps Terabithia was like a castle where you come to be knighted. After you stayed for a while and grew strong, you have to move on. For hadn't Leslie, even in Terabithia, tried to push back the walls of her mind and make him see beyond to another shining world, huge and terrible and beautiful and very fragile? Handle with care even the predators, she would say. Now it was time for him to move on. She wasn't there, so he must go for it by himself, for both of them. It was up to him to pay back the world in beauty and caring what Leslie had loaned him in vision and strength. So it ends beautifully, very nice, and it ends with he building a bridge over the river where she drowned with his little sister, who before he kind of hated the pesky little sister, and there's some room for interpretation at the ending there. But I think Terabithia was sort of a growing spot, a growing place for this boy, and a place of escapism and a place of maturity as well. So it's a very nice tribute to loss, and it was a very good book, definitely a good book. I wouldn't say I absolutely was in love with it like some of the others I read. I mean, I love Coraline much more. The Phantom Tollbooth was a little more exciting, but it was definitely a touching book. I have not viewed the film yet, which I will do probably next to see if I want to include it in my class or not for undergraduate children's literature in the college classroom. So thank you for watching, and you can click the link below to go right to Amazon and buy the book if you'd like.